Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Not Live and Trek Go Cycling, that's not this channel. Live and Trek Go Travelling, or Live and Trek Out and About. I don't think she's decided yet, or we've decided the new channel name. Possibly Live and Trek Go Travelling. Yeah, so we've come to Warwick Castle for the weekend in Warwickshire. We've been here once before a couple of years ago, and it's a nice castle. Hopefully I'll get some footage of the castle and the grounds later on. But we're actually staying at the hotel on site, which I'm going to show you in a second. Now, this is a new hotel, I think only built this July. We're here for 2 nights. We arrived yesterday, got here late afternoon, about 6:30. Didn't do any filming when we arrived, we just sort of settled in. We're here with a few family members. Let me spin the camera around and I'll show you the newly built hotel. It's quite small, and it's a bit different to what you might think of a hotel, but let's take a look. So this is the building. That's the entrance just outside there. And this is the building in its entirety. Now, the building itself, the hotel, is situated within the castle grounds, and as you can see from the cars in front of me, there is car parking. It's quite a big car park. Let's take a walk into the front of the hotel, into reception, and up towards our room. Here we have a few self-checking kiosks. There are 3 or 4 along the right hand side. There are a couple of lifts ahead of us here, and there are also a set of stairs going through that door there.
Doors closing. Doors opening.
Just through these doors on the right.
Doors closing.
And our room is 335. Keycard entry.
So welcome to room 335. This is the entrance. Walking in, to the right here, bathroom. It is absolutely spotlessly clean around the entire hotel. This I absolutely love. I think it's fair to say that the theming at this hotel is absolutely spot on. How wonderful is that? A little kiddie having a bath with all that, that's good fun. Although, I will say, it kind of reminds me of Captain Pugwash. So there's the bathroom. I like that it has a bath and a shower. So, obviously, this is a hotel room, but it's not the only accommodation they do here for a short break. And I guess you'd say this is a family room, because here, for little people, or not so little people, there are bunk beds and a pull-out bed. And I believe in here, there is a travel cot. So, great for families. Excuse all my bits and bobs, or all our bits and bobs. Tea and coffee, lots of fruit teas, cups of tea, regular tea, coffee, you name it, it's got it. Lots of storage, spare pillows, hanging space. Again, the theming is spot on. I don't know if you can make out all the sort of mural at the back there. And up here, And you go through here, and this is where the grown-ups sleep. Dressing table, more storage. There is a hairdryer, TV. This is a very comfortable bed. Again, I mentioned it, the theming, brilliant. The pillows, on the other hand, are horrendous. I mean, if you like a thick, hard pillow to sleep on, great. My head is pounding this morning. So if you want a soft pillow, I'd bring one with you. The only thing is that I would say in the room that kind of lets it down is there is no little fridge.
This is the rear of the hotel, and from it you can see a wooden walkway or elevated footpath, which I'm currently on, which leads away, and just through the trees where I'm pointing on the right hand side there is the restaurant where we ate our evening meal yesterday, and where we're having breakfast at 7:30 this morning. And we're going down this pathway because it's through here that there are some glamping pods, there's a children's entertainment area, outdoor archery, and some nice cabins. So we'll go down there and we'll take a look. And we're going this way, off to the left. And just by the statue of the bear, we have a sign, glamping to the left, lodges to the right. And if I pan the camera slowly around, you can see the white tents, obviously the glamping tents. And to the right, some wooden lodges. And just to the left of the wooden bear, the pathway to the left is a few steps down, leading towards what we saw yesterday as a children's entertainment area and an outdoor archery section. Let's go and take a look at that. The red contraption there, the hut, is the swing grill, and as we walked past there last night, there was food being served. When we arrived yesterday, it was pouring with rain. The weather forecast for the next 2 days is much better, but they were serving food, or food could be bought from there, and burgers and hot dogs and so on and so forth. And there's a menu here. Let's just go and take a look at this menu, and it'll show prices on the menu. Now in this field here, when we arrived yesterday, in the pink and black striped tent over there, there was children's entertainment. There were a couple of actors there dressed in sort of medieval costumes. There was sword play going on. In this big tent in front of me, families were sheltering from the drizzle, the rain that was falling. You can see there are a couple of picnic benches. There is a lovely large lake just ahead to my right, which will come into view as I walk down this gentle slope. And you can see the early morning mist rising from that. We'll take a better look at that in a second. And to my left here, just as we pan round, there were archery boards up, and children were practicing shooting arrows with bows into sort of straw targets, which are now gone from that roped section of the field there. The grounds behind me, where the glamping pods and the cabins are sited, is quite nicely landscaped. Both are surrounded by these lovely high trees. It really is quite a pretty place here if you rent a glamping pod or a cabin. I had a brief look at one of the cabins last night. They looked quite nice, but it's quite early in the morning. I've left the room at 6:45 to try and get this footage whilst there's not many people about. People are still in their beds, so I'm obviously trying to keep my voice down low so as not to disturb people whilst I commentate as we walk. But let's go and take a better look at the glamping pods and the cabins. Now, if you are staying at one of the glamping tents, you can see just behind them there are several unisex toilets and showers for guests to use. So, just finished breakfast, walking back to the hotel now, and then we're on to the castle. The castle doesn't actually open until 10 a.m, but breakfast was reasonable fare. Quality of the food wasn't bad at all. It's an hour or so later after breakfast, and as a family group we're just walking up to the castle gates now. Just in some tree shade, as you can see. We're just walking up to the castle gates where we're going to start our day's adventuring around the castle and the grounds itself. On today's agenda will be jousting. There's a bird or a falconry show that we're going to see, and I hope to get some footage inside the castle as well as the grounds as well. So we're taking the camera along so we can show you what it's all about. So just entered the castle grounds through the archway, and they didn't let guests in until bang on 10 o'clock, and be prepared to have your bag searched on entry as well. So that was a brief tour of the inside of the castle, including some of the old living quarters, and now we've walked down towards the section of the castle grounds where the jousting and the falconry show is. The first thing that we're going to watches the jousting, which starts at 11:30. Now 25 past 11. I'm just sitting on a tree stump, waiting for a coffee from the stand that you can see behind me, before we watch the jousting, which begins at 12 p.m. And I'll just spin the camera around and show you. We're just waiting for the, hopefully that you can see in front of us there, so we can walk over the bridge to the seated area over in the distance where the jousting event takes place. I am currently sitting on the far bank behind the jousting area, waiting for the next show to begin, which is the Falconer's Quest, or the bird show. And you can see the Falconer's Quest on the far side of the river, and the seating area, the wooden benches just in front of me. Now, the reason that I'm sat here is because during the bird show, the birds are actually launched from the platforms that you can see behind me, just here. So, family members, having watched this show yesterday, said that this was the best place to sit from where the birds are actually launched, not the wooden benches down below.
It was the largest bird in the land, a white-tailed sea eagle. A test for hobby, a test of courage to meet such a grand bird. As it stalks its prey, this bird will fly low, close to the water, and power. The sight of this bird took Hobby's breath away. Striking black and white plumage with a blazing yellow beak and talon. These predators of the sky were said to live for up to 8 years. Once again, the skies above Warwick were full of magnificent birds of prey.
So today is checkout day. We've got to be out of here by 11 a.m. We spent 2 nights here, but we just wanted to give a couple of thoughts on what we thought of our Warwick Castle Hotel
Short break.
experience. First of all, the hotel. It was only opened on July the 22nd, a few weeks ago. So we'll be one of the earliest guests to actually stay here. What did you think of the hotel, first of all?
I think the hotel is lovely. It's spotlessly clean. The theming in the room, as I probably mentioned before, is really good. Fantastic for kids. I love all the murals, the attention to detail. It's brilliant.
Staff were nice and friendly, weren't they?
The staff are a credit to Warwick Castle, or Merlin, maybe. They're an absolute credit. All of the cleaning staff and the grounds people, the serving staff, absolutely everybody, superb.
It's very tidy outside. The landscape, the grass and the trees and the shrubbery is all
quite well maintained and manicured, so it's certainly tidy, which you would expect with it being a brand new property. I'm sure the business behind the castle are quite keen to show it off in the best light possible. The bed was quite comfortable, so our only complaint in relation to the room was the air conditioning or the heating unit, which we've just filmed, and we'll put that section up possibly next and show you what we mean by that.
Yeah, the rooms are cold. It might seem, 19.5 is reasonable, but I can tell you that when you've got the air blowing out all the time, I don't know whether the thermostat is just wrong, but it does feel cold. We've had to have long sleeves inside and wrap up, and it's the middle of August. Negative. This for us is a negative. The aircon. 19.5 might seem quite reasonable, but I tell you, it feels freezing, especially when you can't change it at all. It's all centrally controlled. The fan is full on, so you hear the noise of it all through the night. And if you try to change the temperature at all, it brings this up, centrally controlled. So you have to have it as is. And for kids, I'm sure that must feel pretty cold. We felt cold, and it's August. Oh yes, the beds are very comfortable. The pillows are rock hard. Maybe like a firm pillow. Maybe it's just me being a princess. But I had to roll up for my second night the quilt off one of the kids' beds, because we didn't have any kids with us. Our grandkids are next door. I had to roll up the quilt and try and make kind of a soft pillow, and then I slept like a baby. That was fine. But the first morning I woke up, I felt like my head had been sleeping on a brick, and I had a splitting headache. So there's that.
I was fine with the pillows. Pillows didn't bother me at all.
I would say it's a negative is food and prices. Now, the breakfast is absolutely fine. It's a lovely breakfast. It's included in the rate of the hotel. And by the way, we paid, I think it was $378 for 2 nights, with breakfast included in the morning and 2 days of tickets for the castle, which is a bargain, I think. So very pleased with that. But when it comes to an evening meal in the restaurant here, there is only the carvery. I think it's £27 for adults, $16 for children, and it's self-serve. It's 3 courses, they say. It sounds great. They say a salad station, a carvery, and then desserts. Okay, so the salad station was awful. Very little choice there, and what there was just wasn't very nice. They had, I think, hummus and some carrot sticks and some cucumber sticks and some coleslaw and some lettuce leaves, and that was pretty much it. Oh, some pickles maybe, and that was it, and bread. So not great. It wasn't particularly nice. The carvery, it wasn't cooked very nice. The roasties were nice. The rest of it really wasn't cooked very nice, and I just didn't think it was worth the money. The puddings, so your third course was jelly or some sort of strawberry mousse thing, or a chocolate mousse. Now, I like chocolate, my grandkids like chocolate, you like chocolate, but it was so dark and rich, none of us could eat it, so really we didn't have a pud. So all in all, for £27, I really don't think we had value for money.
No, I would agree with that.
So that's not great. So the next night, we thought we would eat at, they've got, I think it's called a steak and grill or something.
It's the Swing Bar, it's called.
The Swing Bar?
It was called, for some reason, it's called the Swing Bar. But it's basically like a big outside barbecue. You order your food, you can order like hamburgers and so on and so forth.
No, I don't think I had hamburgers. So the choice I think was a hot dog, which was okay. I think it was $7.75 for a hot dog. They had nachos, about $4.50 for nachos, and then they had steak nachos, which I think were about £9, and barbecue chicken, which I
had. I think it was about £7.50.
It came to £20 for a hot dog. Here's chicken bits and some nachos. Neither of us could eat the nachos; they were awful. I ate the hot dog, which was great, and he picked at the chicken. Son next door and grandkids, they spent about £40, and it wasn't very it wasn't particularly nice food anyway for them. So they ended up having to go off site and get a fish and chips and bring it back to the hotel. So just little things like that would make the hotel short break perfect. Just do something with the prices and the quality of the food, and for goodness sake, try and let us have control of whether we want a fan on or a bit of heat, because it made it uncomfortable. And other than that, it would have been absolutely perfect, I think. So, would we recommend a short break at Warwick Castle Hotel? Oh, I tell you what, sorry. They have glamping and they have lodges, and they look great. They look effective. I wouldn't fancy the glamping, and I'm not sure I'd fancy the lodges either.
Well, the lodges looked quite nice from outside.
But especially the glamping, it's a little too close to all the wildlife of the river. That would really put me off. And there are showers that are spotlessly clean, but there are not very many of those showers when you think of them compared to how many lodges, and lodges probably have showers, but how many glamping tents there are, how many families there would be in there. So I guess it's that as well, but I would certainly recommend the hotel. I would certainly recommend a short break because it is great value. The castle is great, it's wonderful.
But they need to raise their game with regard to the food. What did you think of the castle experience?
Great, we've been to the castle before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Can't remember how much it costs for an individual ticket now.
There was one negative for me when we went to the jousting, and that was the seating area, the wooden seating area that you use when you watch the jousting. There are wooden steps there, but they're not particularly, they're not raised high, so if people stand in front of you whilst you're trying to sit down, you simply won't see the view. And the view afforded by those wooden steps or the jousting ahead of you was quite poor, really. Lots of people crammed in there, and I felt that the seating for the jousting area was poor and could be improved.
The birds were fantastic.
The bird show was enjoyable.
Oh my goodness, they are beautiful creatures, and they're clearly looked after very, very well. Yeah, that's great.
So overall, we had a good experience in the castle grounds itself. We've had a good experience with the hotel, albeit one small niggle with the room being a lack of control to us as the guests with the aircon unit, or the heating unit, or however we're going to call it, and the food. If the company made improvements in those two areas, it would make for a better experience for guests in the hotel itself.
So, thank you very much for watching. Well done for sticking it out. Please like and please subscribe. This is the very first travelling video we've done on this channel. It's completely new. We have another cycling channel, Live and Trek Go Cycling, but this is our first travelling video. So we hope to put lots more other stuff on here as we travel around.
If you've got any questions or comments, you know what to do. Drop them in the comments.
You know what to do?
Take
you
two.
know what to do.
Take two. If you've got any comments or questions, please put them in the comments section below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.